From Anderson Hall on the campus of the University of Nebraska, this is Cover 2 on 90.3 KRNU. Here are your hosts, Lanny, Holstein, and Chris Peters.
Bye. All right, Nebraska gets a new AD. It is going to be Korth from Miami. We've got a top 25 clash this weekend with Nebraska and Ohio State. It's a big weekend all the way around here. Braxton Miller coming to town. We've got Eric Crouch calling in on the show tonight, and we're going to kick it off right now with the Husker Roundup.
I co-host a show called Cover 2 with Lanny, Holstein, and Chris Peters. Me and my friend Lanny built it from the ground up as a way to sort of get a little bit more exposure and experience with journalism. I'm actually a news ed guy. I'm a writer, but I figured if I would get a little experience in radio, that could just help my resume a little bit.
It's all about entertainment. It's about, I say things sometimes that are a little bit ridiculous, but I am ridiculous. So it gives people, it brings a little fun to it. It brings a little humor to stuff. We've got Chris also. He's a character too. I think that's kind of why I brought him along for the show. It was my idea initially to start the show up this summer, and I thought, hey, Chris Peters, he's a little bit of a nut job. Why don't we bring him on the show, and me and him will just kind of go at it.
When we first started doing specialty programs, we had primarily 2 or 3, but then there's been a huge array of other kinds of shows. We've had several jazz shows, we've had several sports talk programs, we've had loud rock shows, we've had Broadway music shows. There's the show that I do, which is the a cappella show, which has been on continuously since 1995. So it comes and goes depending on what student interests are.
I had 2 phases at KRNU. I worked there from 1999 to 2001 as an undergraduate. And then I came back to UNL as a grad student in 2002, and then worked at KRNU again until probably like 2005. When we really started, kind of having a paradigm shift at the station was when we switched from playing CDs and vinyl to having pretty much everything, if not completely everything, based off of the computer system. It changed to where it kind of, for better or worse, kind of evolved to how commercial radio was operating, at least on that fundamental, like how you get songs on the air.
Everything we use, even though we use like analog sliders and stuff like that, is all recorded digitally. There's no tape. We use podcasts, which we feed through iTunes. At the same time, we record audio on our iPhones and drop the audio files in, chop them up, and create segments, whether they be little audio drops to introduce a segment or sound bites from coaches or player interviews. There's a number of things that we use that feed through this digital thing, which is essentially just feeds it through a computer program. Radio's not as old as a lot of people think it is.
I put Twitter and Facebook are a big way that we can get out to people, and if you've got like 200, 300 friends on Facebook, you put a thing out and boom, 300 people, have a chance at seeing that. So that's a quick way to spread attention for a show like ours.
I really loved how, those 2 hours or whatever that you were assigned was just like this canvas and this box of cards that you used to pull from to figure out the rotation. It was like your paints, and like you just had this time to where you were going to put together this like work of art that was never going to be replicated. That combination of songs, whatever you happen to spit out on the air live, some people work from notes, some people just kind of went stream of consciousness as they got more comfortable with it, but you were creating something totally unique that was only shared between you and whoever happened to be tuned in right then. And a lot of times that was the people in the state pen or Jack the old rocker who was tuned in 24/7, or I guess not even 24 hours a day at that point. But it was like such a, I feel like once you really thought about on every level what was happening there between the DJ and the listener, it just became this really special, magical thing, and I couldn't get enough of it.